Bring in Nigel Farage, member of the European Parliament, leader of the Brexit movement, and one of our favorite guests here on Fox and Friends. Nigel, welcome to the show. First, your reaction there to hearing Donna Brazil saying, we got it wrong, we got a little cocky. What do you think?
Well, I think that's right, and I think, isn't that the story of 2016, actually, that the Remain camp in my country thought they'd win, and the Democrats in America thought they'd win, and we've had these two big electoral surprises. So we start this year. I think those of us that have been wanting change for years, we start this year with more optimism than we've had for years.
Well, so some people that are not going into this year with optimism are a lot of American elites here, the media, Democrats, leftists, others who are just, they're losing it. They don't know how to react to this incoming Trump administration and inauguration. They're choosing to reject it or protest it out the gates. What do you make of that, and how similar is that to what you saw in reaction to the Brexit vote?
Oh, it's still happening here. I mean, we still have, many members of Parliament saying, oh, it's all a terrible mistake. We must rerun the whole thing. So it's the same on both sides. I saw the US ambassador to the European Union the other day, 2 days ago, saying, we mustn't reverse 50 years of American foreign policy towards the EU. These guys have had it all their own way for too long. They've lost, and the important thing, the really important thing that I'm sure Trump will do is to get rid of all those people and to replace them with a new administration, with new bureaucrats and new ambassadors who will help get his program through.
Yeah.
Well, you're being called nuts this morning, Nigel, by the Obama camp, and they're warning the Trump administration to not be duped by the likes of Brexiteers of Nigel Farage. What do you say to the Obama administration this morning?
Well, the Obama administration are part of this global elite. They love the European Union because they saw it as a prototype for a bigger form of world government, something, incidentally, that had Hillary won, she would have tried, slowly but surely, to sign America up to. I've been called nuts for over 20 years. I'm quite used to it. So nuts that I helped precipitate a referendum in which we won. And I'll give you one nutty prediction, shall I? The European Union is dying. Opposition to it is springing up. North, south, east, west of Europe. We're headed towards a different way of organising ourselves across the Western world, and it's a good thing.
I think you've proven that your opinions aren't so nutty, but some of the left, including President Obama and their team, saying that what happened in the UK, this Brexit, just a movement. This is not something that's going to last for a long period of time. What's your response to that?
Well, again, it just shows they don't understand the new reality. 2016 was the year that voters, the little people as I call them, realised that actually if they bother to go down to the polling station and engage with the electoral process, they can topple the elites. Do you know what? They've now got a taste for it. They've got a taste for it. They like it. They're excited by it. And the sooner the Obama administration and so many here in our media and in the Houses of Commons, the sooner, frankly, they're swept away and we can start again with a clean sheet and say we are now going to be nation states, democratic nation states. We will trade with each other, we'll be friends with each other, but we're not going to give the bureaucrats control of our lives ever again.
Well, Nigel, you made the prediction that the EU is outdated. Just because it's been there for 50 years doesn't mean it's right or is the future. Do you see this spreading further? Marine Le Pen, who's a conservative right-leaning candidate in France, visited Trump Tower, not necessarily visited Mr. Trump, but do you see other countries doing what the UK did? And when do you see that happening?
Well, I tell you what, the first big thing to watch are the elections in the Netherlands, which take place in March. Geert Wilders, who is a very strong Eurosceptic, he's also a very deep critic of Islam, controversially, but a very strong critic of the Netherlands' membership of the European Union. He is currently leading the opinion polls. Marine Le Pen is currently favourite to win the first round of the French presidency, but expected to lose in the second round. These things are happening right across Europe. What I would say is this. Whether Wilders and Le Pen win or not, well, that depends on events over the course of the next few months. But whether they win or don't, what they will do is they will shift the centre of gravity of the whole debate within France and the Netherlands. And overnight, the Deputy Prime Minister of the Netherlands has said that open borders in Europe are a race to the bottom in terms of workers' wages. So whether we get the dramatic upsets like Trump and like Brexit or not is tough to call at this moment, but don't rule it out. But even if we don't, the argument is changing.
Yeah,
That's a great
Nigel,
point.
we could have you here all morning long. Always great to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.